Now, I don't really... Liv, just cut the shit out. What's up, Liv gang? My name is Matt, and I'm here covering for Liv because she is very, very sick today. She is dealing with a bad cold and flu, so 1 like equals 1 get well wish for Liv. Yeah. Also, make sure to subscribe to her channel, guys. She is putting out amazing content, daily content. Even while she is sick, she is having her friends guest upload to make sure that she can give you guys the best possible content. So, shout out to Liv. And of course, you should probably subscribe to my channel as well, because today we are going to be talking about Gmax Pokemon and why I think they should be allowed in pretty much every draft league. Now, Gmax as a mechanic itself, and Dynamax as well, Gigantamax and Dynamax, they are not the most popular mechanics. Let's be blunt about it. They are not. People hate them. To be honest, Dynamax, it's cool. I think it's really awesome, but even if you were to like limit it to tier 5 Pokemon or really bad ones, it's still that broken. Having something that can just boost its speed up by 1 stage, boost its attack or special attack up by 1 stage whenever it goes for a fighting or poison move, it's crazy. On the other hand, you have Gigantamax. Now, Gigantamax rules fall under 3 different categories. The first one is none at all, not allowed to have it at all. The other one is you can have it, but it has to hold a Pokeball or no item at all. The third one, and the most crazy one, is you can have Gigantamax Pokemon, but they can hold any item they want. And that's a huge shift from the first rule, because having these Pokemon in the game, it really changes with items. I can tell you I've drafted Gmax Corviknight in the GDL, and I had to hold a Master Ball. Now, a Master Ball, I felt on Gmax Corviknight really wasn't as bad as a Master Ball on something like Gmax Charizard, because you can't hold the boost. You can't hold a berry to help you take a rock hit or help you take a water hit. For me, the only item I felt like I was missing out on with Corviknight was either the Aqua Berry, the Electric Berry, whichever one that is, and the Leftovers. Those are the only ones I felt like I was missing out on. Maybe Rocky Helmet, maybe. But even then, not the biggest deal. I felt like having Gigantamax in the game, and again, this has to do with my preference, but I'm going to try and convince you guys along the way. The reason why having Gigantamax in the game in Draft League is so good is it allows you to, 1, create better sets, be more creative. How are you going to beat this Gigantamax Pokemon? Okay, well, one of the coolest, I guess, strategies that have come around to beat Gigantamax Pokemon, especially ones that are slower, just sub-stall them out. Sub-stall out the Gmax turns. The second they go for Gmax move, you fire off a substitute. That'll allow you to, 1, you outspeed them, so you're only taking 25%. You get off 3 free subs, 4 probably, unless you took rocks or something, but still, you're able to stall out these turns, forcing them to go for moves that are not going to be as optimal, wasting that doubling of their HP stats, and then you can fire off a powerful attack to get rid of those Pokemon. I feel like that's an extremely effective way to get around many Gmax Pokemon. The problem is, if the Gmax is faster than you, how do you beat that? How do you get around that? How are you beating that if they boost their speed with something like a Max Airstream? Well, you have options like status and priority. Status is the big one. You Thunder Wave that thing, you're good to go. You burn a physical attacker, fantastic. You Toxic it. I know it's not going to be taking as much, but it's going to be racking up. It's really going to wear it down. It's going to stop it from sweeping you. You just use priority against it. Priority in general would be very nice to have. Obviously, it's not as strong, but it's something that you can use to get around it. I find that in leagues with Gigantamax Pokemon, especially when they can't hold items, they're not as powerful, so having something with Focus Sash and Magic Guard would be very useful. And the Alakazam is a really good way against Gmax Pokemon because it gets counter as well. Having just the ability to just have Focus Sash always intact, click and counter as soon as your opponent fires off a Gmax move, you're going to fire off an insanely powerful attack that will just nuke whatever Gmax comes out, especially if it's a physical attack. So you see, there are multiple different ways that you can get creative to beat a Gigantamax Pokemon. In my eyes, having Gigantamax also allows you to use Pokemon that you wouldn't normally use. Without heavy duty boots, Charizard would not be that great of a Pokemon. It just would not be, in my eyes at least. But with it around, it's being used much more. But that can't always be said. Something like Machamp isn't used as often as other fighting type counterparts. I'm using regular Machamp right now and I absolutely love it. It's a really good mon. But Gmax Machamp doesn't get the shine. Gmax Kingler doesn't get the shine it should. Obviously there's mons like Gmax Meowth and Pikachu that we're not going to talk about, but these Pokemon are they're good Pokemon that are going to be able to be used a lot more, and people are going to start to fall in love with these things because they're going to say, I have to draft the Gmax mon, I really don't like the mechanic that much, I'll just draft the lower tier one so I can get extra points and whatnot, and I get to create a better team overall. That is what Gmax provides you. Gmax is like the Megas of this generation. It is, and that's because it provides you something that is insanely powerful for what it is. This way it's only temporary. It is more broken than Megas are for those 3 turns, don't get me wrong, but if you manage to stall it out with subs, if you manage to force them out with something like Roar, one of the coolest techs that people have used that I've learned to get around Gmax Pokemon, go for Parting Shot on a Gmax Hatterene. Tell me what switches out. The Hatterene switches out. That Gmax Mon is now gone. And it's so slow to begin with that if you just fire off the Parting Shot against it, it's just going to disappear. Meaning that it's never going to have the chance to go for a max move on you, so you're going to be able to kind of waste the Gmax turn and then go into whatever you need to go into the following time around when you go for your second Parting Shot. I feel so strongly that Gmax Mons should be allowed in leagues because it enables more creative building. It enables you to use a Mon that you normally wouldn't use and create sets that you would not normally use. I can tell you, when I was using this Gmax Corviknight that I keep mentioning before, I ran a set where I was running, I think it was Power Trip, Bulk Up, Roost, and I think it was Body Press or something. And that set was so freaking good. It allowed me to set up whenever I was going for any attack except for Max Darkness. But at the end of the day, I'm just setting up over and over and over, setting up my attack with Max Knuckle, setting up my attack and defense when I'm going for Bulk Up, and then I can fire off a Power Trip, which is going to be even stronger. I can fire off a Body Press after the fact, which is going to be even stronger because I'm getting the defense boost. Basically, there's so many different creative sets that you can run when you have the ability to run a maxed Pokemon. It also lets things that are middle of the road become elite. Look at Gmax Inteleon. This thing, compared to its other Gmax counterparts in the Galar starters, is insane. But when you look at it without Gigantamax, Inteleon is really a step below the Rillabooms and the Cinderaces of the world. It's still good, don't get me wrong, but it's nowhere near as good as they are. You have the Grassy Glide from Rillaboom, you have the Libero on Cinderace with incredible coverage and powerful moves. Inteleon, while it's fast and hits hard, and it gets access to dual screens and momentum, is not like those ones. But when you give it that Gmax move, oh boy, it just comes in, clicks buttons, and claims lives because of its coverage, because it gets Air Slash specifically. This thing is able to nuke so many different things. Water is one of the most used types in the game. It's one of the best immunities with Water Absorb or Storm Drain or something along those lines. Having Mold Breaker in a move like Max Hydro Sniper would be is very beneficial. It lets you get around different Pokemon. So if you have a team that really struggles to deal with water and ground types, something like a Quagsire, a Seismitoad, a Gastrodon, you can have a Gmax Inteleon on your team, and you can get around those things pretty easily, especially during those 3 turns. And then you have a way, it's an escape. It's an escape to get around those Pokemon. Now, I don't want to get into the discussion about whether Gmaxes should be allowed to hold items or just hold a Pokeball. And the reason for that is because it really changes how good these Pokemon are. It completely shifts the meta and skews it way in the favor of Gmaxes. I'm in the IBL and it allows Gmaxes to hold items, and those things are running house. Inteleon right now, my Inteleon has 18 kills, 3 deaths basically. It's crazy. It's basically just getting kills every single time it steps on the court, on the field, whatever, you know what I mean. Gmax or Shifus, same deal. But even lower mons, Gmax Grimmsnarl, Gmax Kingler, you get an agility up, you have a Life Orb, Sheer Force Mon going for those attacks. It is incredible how powerful these things can be. So you gotta be very, very careful when you're dealing with these Pokemon. I think in a Gmax League, there are certain Pokemon that become better, that become more useful. I think Webs become extremely valuable because people are just gonna be boosting their speed with Airstream. I think Reflect and Light Screen are gonna be so much more valuable than they were before because people are boosting their attack and special attack with Max Knuckle or Max Ooze. Magikarp Mons, very, very valuable because you get to use Focus Sash. Focus Sash becomes an immensely better item. Heavy Duty Boots become an amazing item as well in case you're dealing with something that does not get a Mold Breaker move, something like a Max Hydro Snipe. You can run a Crustle with Heavy Duty Boots and Sturdy. That way you will always guarantee you can take 1 hit. Just 1, but still useful. And that way it stalls out a turn. It stalls out 2 turns actually. I think Mystical Fire is an amazing move to deal with Gmax Pokemon. I think there are so many different counters to deal with these things, and you can get around them so easily, but people are afraid to deal with them. How do you teach someone how to beat a Gmax Pokemon? You say, figure out a way, get creative to beat this stupid, broken thing, and people will rise to the top and show you that they can do it. Look, at the end of the day, Gmaxes are not for everyone, but if you tell people, hey, you're gonna be in a Gmax League, figure it out, we'll be able to use broken shit, you'll have to deal with broken shit, people will use their Gmaxes defensively to counter other Gmaxes, or offensively to just destroy an option they could not deal with. Maybe your team really struggles with weather, and you just cannot deal with whether it's rain, sand, hail, whatever. I don't care what it is. You can bring in your Gigantamax Pokemon. It'll either outspeed because it's getting off Airstreams, or it'll take the hit because it's got an extra double defense, or not defense, but HP it normally would have. Having these options are very useful to limit the terror that some of these Pokemon cause on the meta. Obviously, again, not for everyone. You need to decide what is right for you, what is best for you. I personally believe that everyone, once they experience a Gmax metagame, if they feel comfortable using the Gigantamax Pokemon, understanding how it works, how they want to get it in freely, how they want to get it in safely, whether it's slow U-turns, whether it's providing webs or veil, or just using it as a lead and just nuking something right off the bat to allow the rest of your team to just set up for game after the fact, why not? If you have that and you get comfortable with it, you will find that Gmax Pokemon are nothing to be afraid of. They're nothing to scoff at or laugh at the same time. They're very strong, but they are strong, respectable, but not overpoweringly broken. If you guys want to hear more about Gmax Pokemon, I have a series on my channel that has been kind of dead for a little bit, but it's going to be coming back soon. Don't worry about it. It is my how to use every single Gmax Pokemon, and Liv has been a guest on the channel for the Gmax Hatterene one. She's going to be coming back on at some point to discuss Gmax Charizard. We'll see when that happens, but that is going to be it for this video. I want you guys to let me know down in the comments below of Liv's video. Please just... we'll have a discussion there, civil. I won't be rude or anything, I swear to God, and Liv will be able to have her input as well. But let me know what you guys think about Gmax Pokemon in general. And please, guys, do me a favor, leave a like on this video for Liv. If you haven't subscribed already, please do subscribe. She makes fantastic content that you will not want to be missing out, whether it's laddering on the, the Pokeball to Master Ball tier for the, I don't do that kind of stuff, but it's like Master Ball rank for, I guess, Series 9 is what they're on now. For Wi-Fi, whether it's Wi-Fi battles with friends, whether it's league battles, whether it's discussions like this one here or the drill down that she's going to be starting soon enough, I would highly recommend subscribing to Liv and liking this video as well, and comment down below your thoughts on Gmax Pokemon. Once again, my name is MattOshea. I appreciate you guys having me on and listening to me ramble. Liv gang, thank you so much for listening, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you guys all next time. Deuces. Fuck.